What's up guys, Wolfgang here, and today I want to talk about my favorite productivity mouse, the MX Master 3. So I've been using the MX Master for about 3 months now, and wanted to share my thoughts about it. As I mentioned in my previous video, the MX line always has their particular design of being not so flashy, minimalistic, somewhat appealing to more professional folk, so not necessarily gamer people. It's not in the gamer design, and it doesn't try to be at all. Now, it doesn't have any RGB lights, nor anything distracting, which I prefer when doing any productivity tasks. I believe it helps me focus on what I'm trying to do and not be distracted by any rainbow effects or anything else.
A quick update here. As I was editing this video, there have been some leaks of the next generation of this mouse, which would be the MX Master 3S, which the S in this case will stand for silent. From the leaks, all I can see that will be different will be the clicks. They'll make them silent clicks, which means that when you click it won't be as noisy. So what they want to do is just remove the sound that each click makes. That way it is more silent for a business or an office environment, perhaps. I don't necessarily find this as appealing for me specifically, as I find that the click sound is quite satisfying. However, I do see how for certain cases it can be very beneficial.
Now, one of the main things I want to highlight on this mouse is the battery life, as it is insane. I don't even know the milliamp hour rating for this mouse, but I can tell you can pretty much forget about charging it. It will last you a really long time without charging it. You can charge it once a week if you want to, and even then it won't die on you. I've had this mouse for 3 to 4 months now and only charged it once. As I mentioned also with the Logitech MX Keys Mini video I made, you can check that out in the description, as well as up here. Now, they also did use the correct connector. It is a Type-C connector, and you can also use it while it's charging or while it's plugged in, which makes it a wired mouse in that case, and well, it's useful if necessary. Now, other features that make this mouse so great are, for example, the Logitech Options application for Windows. So with this mouse, you have several inputs. You have the standard left click, right click, middle click, well, scroll of course, forward and backward. However, you have a few extra things that most mice don't have, which is this horizontal scroll wheel, this button right here, which is in the middle of both clicks and the scroll wheel. And you also have a button down here in your thumb resting area. Through the application, you can remap any of these buttons to anything you want in any application specifically. And what I love to do is to keep this button over here and the thumb button as gesture buttons. I prefer to have this button assigned for media keys and this one over here to be assigned for virtual desktops. It makes my productivity life much quicker, as I can switch through these things much easier than using keyboard shortcuts, as moving your mouse and pressing on a thumb button feels very natural to me, as I've had the MX Master 2S before this one. Now, similar to the MX Keys Mini, this mouse also connects to 3 devices simultaneously. As you can see here in the bottom, there is a button also, and it can switch between the 3 devices. You just gotta tap it once and it will switch. One last thing I appreciate on this mouse is the scroll wheel. So this only happens when the mouse is on. You can quickly flick the mouse and it will start scrolling. So usually it will be in a ratcheted mode, which has a very tactile feeling when you scroll. Besides the ratcheted mode, it also has a free scroll mode, which while the mouse is on, you can flick the mouse really quickly and it will switch to a much smoother and pretty much continuous scroll. I turned on the mouse right now just to continue to do this so you can see. And it is very comfortable, definitely not necessary, but when browsing a website and you just want to go to the bottom, or in maybe a text document, You can just flick this and go very quickly to the bottom of the page. Now, specs wise, this is also a really great mouse. It has a dark field sensor, which means it can track on pretty much any surface. There has not been a surface that I haven't been able to track on using this mouse. And it has a DPI from 200 to 4000, which makes it great for most uses. Now, this mouse does have a price of $100, which makes it a bit pricey on the mouse side. It isn't for anyone. However, I do believe it is worth it for mostly those two buttons and the application, which makes it just so easy to use and so convenient depending on what you're going to use it for, as you can set it up for whatever you want. Now then, in my specific case, this is the business version of the mouse. The only difference that comes with is that the normal version comes with the unifying receiver, which looks like this. However, this version, which is the business version, comes with a bolt receiver. Now, the only difference physically is the little logo, and realistically, the only difference is that the bolt receiver is supposed to be more secure for business users, as it's harder to intercept the signal as it's encrypted of what the device is doing. So for example, on a keyboard, they can't really intercept the keys as easily. Realistically, for most uses, it's unnecessary, but I guess it's a plus. The reason I bought the business version of this mouse was to connect it to the MX Keys Mini, which you can watch the video in which I get a little bit more in depth about the situation. However, the mouse itself is the same for the business version or for the normal version. So as a conclusion, I know I'm joining pretty much the whole tech community by saying that this is the best productivity mouse out there. It definitely doesn't have the largest amount of inputs, as some gaming mice do have even around like 20 keys on the thumb area. But I feel like this one gives a much more natural feel, as you can map the gesture buttons to be, for example, hold and go up, hold and go down, hold left, hold and go right, or just tap. I feel like it gives it a very natural feel. For example, how I use it for virtual desktops, I press the thumb button and then move to the left, and that will switch me to the next virtual desktop, which I feel is very natural, makes it much comfier, and I don't have to fumble around to look for the correct key to switch. And also, as a quick disclaimer, I don't recommend it as a gaming mouse. You can definitely get away with it with much slower paced games, for example Minecraft. But for more fast-paced games, it is a bit too heavy for that, so you will have some momentum restricting your quick movements. But it's definitely doable if necessary. There are obviously better mouse for this though, even in the Logitech line with their gaming mice. Now, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like. If you want to watch more videos similar to this one, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you don't miss them out. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.